Good morning, Applied English. A little devotional before we get started on today's mini lesson. It's really just a mini activity today. But Psalm 51:7 says this: Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. This upcoming snowstorm that we're supposed to get on Monday night just got me thinking about this verse. And the idea about this verse is God's power to cleanse us. It's God's power to wash us clean of our sins. And it's not just to forgive us our sins, but it's to cleanse us entirely, to make us whiter than snow, as the verse says. A little bit of context: hyssop is a type of plant that they mention quite a bit in the Old Testament. It's a plant that they would add liquid to and use it to sprinkle liquid onto something. Just kind of had that perfect shape to it that would release water droplets. So that's what hyssop is referring to. But the idea with this verse, once again, is that God can not only wash us, he can not only purify us from our sinful words, thoughts, and actions, but in purifying us, he makes us entirely pure, whiter than snow, purer than the purest white that we can picture, like the snow in this image right here. Once again, just the snowstorm that we're supposed to get got me thinking about this verse. Maybe as you're watching the snow in this upcoming evening here, or over the next few days, I hope that it gets you thinking about this verse and God's power to cleanse us from the things that we say, from the things that we think, and from the things that we do. And that's my prayer for us this week, myself included. Not only try to live purely, but that we can take just God's free gift of grace, that we can take in his forgiveness that makes us purer than snow. Let's take a look at today's agenda here. All right, so as we look at today's agenda here, it's actually a pretty slim one. The objective is the same thing as last week. I want you to be able to comprehend what you read in the script. This one's past tense because we did all of our script reading last week. I want to quiz you over Trifles today. So there is no teaching today, just a little assignment that I want you to complete. We'll look at the directions for that in a moment. You're currently watching our devotional and directions video, so once you're done watching through this, I want you to take your Trifles comprehension quiz today. Please note, you may use your comprehension guide on your quiz. You can even use your script from last week on your quiz. So I'll show you how to access those materials again if you need. What you should know is that in our next lesson, which is tomorrow really for all of us, I've got a little discussion for us on sort of the deeper meanings in Trifles. We'll talk about irony, theme, and symbolism tomorrow. And we'll also begin our last project for our drama unit, which is our partner skits. If you are in one of my virtual courses, it's not a partner skit project. It's actually going to be a monologue project, so I'll have a different prompt ready for you there. Let's take a look at this comprehension quiz together. All right, Trifles comprehension quiz. A couple things you should know about this thing. As I set mine up right here, all it says is random question set, 10 of 13 questions. Your comprehension guide for Trifles had 13 multiple choice questions on it. I've set it up so that this quiz will pull 10 of those questions. It will pull a different set of questions for each student. So I do want you to know your entire comprehension guide well. You can use your entire comprehension guide on this quiz. Another thing you'll notice is that this quiz will look a little bit different from what we did last semester. So let me hit preview real quick here. Start new attempt. Instead of it being one question per page, you'll see all the questions in a row. So you should note these questions come in random order. So they're just pulled randomly from throughout your comprehension guide. So please make sure that you are paying close attention to that. They do not go in order from earliest to latest. So read each question carefully. You will also note that a few of these questions might be written with different wording than what they are on the comprehension guide, but they mean the same thing. So for instance, like this is the last question on the comprehension guide. What do the two women do with the possible evidence they found? You can answer from there. Let me see if I can find one that's written differently on mine. I think this one, it's question 5 for me. It might be a different question number for you, or it might not be on your quiz at all. I think this one's written slightly differently from what it is on the comprehension guide. It says, why had Mr. Hale come to visit Mr. Wright the day before? I just had to reword this one for clarity's sake. Again, it might have a different wording than what it is on your comprehension guide. The information it's asking for is the same. Was he there to collect a debt? Was he there to discuss sharing a party line for telephones? Was he there to discuss the upcoming harvest, or was he there to buy his old truck? Answer whatever you think is correct there. The other thing you might note is that these answers, A through D, come in a different order from what you might see in your comprehension guide, so please make sure you're paying close attention, reading every question and every answer carefully as you take this quiz. One thing I want to note, if you're looking at my preview here and you're like, I don't know what's going on, it's probably wise to go back through last week's materials. So if I click back into our course, that's fine. Past work is where you'll find last week, and then week of January 18th. If you really don't remember Trifles well at all, I might recommend rewatching the play. The first half is covered in day 6, Trifles Part 1. There's our vocabulary as well. Little reminder that I'm quizzing you over vocab at the end of this week. Day 7 right here is where Trifles Part 2 is as well. So if I click into one of the halves of the play, you'll see the video covering the play itself, but there's also a copy of the script if you'd like your copy of the script for your quiz. There's also the comprehension guide, which you can use on your quiz too. So please make sure you're using your strategies and taking your time on your quiz. You can go back and study as much as you need. Again, you can use your comprehension guide on the quiz. You can use any notes that you're taking on the quiz. You can use your script on the quiz too. Best of luck to you as you take your quiz today. Again, we'll discuss the deeper meanings of this play tomorrow. And we'll also start our acting project tomorrow.